beautiful human, and welcome back to my channel and another video from me, Kelsey, the Human Design Astrologer, from astrologyhumandesign.com. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video, which is going to be more and more and more. You can also utilize my playlists to learn more about astrology, human design, the transits. For the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on how to use your astrology and human design to support you in your business as an entrepreneur. There are a few things that you can look for in your chart to see how you can support yourself as an entrepreneur and in your business and thriving. First things first, yes, you can use astrology for this. Yes, you can use human design for this, but they have different purposes. Astrology is more about timing. It's more about, what's going on for me right now, what's going to be happening for me in a month from now, 2 months from now, what area of life is going to be my focus or is my focus right now. That's really what, when you look at horoscope, that's what they're telling you. Like the horoscopes that I have in my Astro HD membership, which by the way are geared towards business owners and entrepreneurs, I look at the chart of your rising sign to look at what areas of life are the planets moving through in that month ahead. And that's going to tell you what your focus is of that month. And that's really about divine timing. Astrology helps us to measure divine timing so that we can do things in accordance with that timing, as opposed to trying to force something to happen in our career or something to happen in our spirituality or something to happen in our home life when it's not necessarily the right time to do that. So that's really what astrology shines in, and what astrology does really well is timing. And you can also look at human design for these things. I mean, that's what the transits really are. What is going on in your individual chart that the current planetary movements are affecting. And transits are everything for, like I said, timing. I have a video on how I use astrology to plan out my week. You can go and learn more about that specifically from that video. It's about a 3-minute video. You can also use astrology to plan out your months and your years and your days as well. And I, as a business owner, have been learning this a lot recently of like, okay, why did I, during this 6-hour time span today, have so much energy? And then I checked my chart and it's like, oh, there's a transit happening to my chart that is bridging where I'm split. I'm a split definition in my human design, so I have certain gates that are missing that create a split in my design from the two parts operating cohesively. They're split, right? So they don't communicate to each other unless there are transits bridging those gaps. And then I feel like a single definition. I feel more complete. I feel more connected to the whole of my chart versus being one or the other. And so that's kind of tip number 1 for human design, and looking at the transits, using the transits to know when. This is really for increasing productivity, which is ultimately going to increase your success and help you to work smarter and not harder, is looking at, if you have a split definition in your chart, when does the moon transit to those gates that you are split every month? If you want to learn more about how to track the transits, I have a class on the human design transits in my Astro HD membership. I also have a class on the astrology transits in my Astro HD membership. But if you already have an understanding of how the transits work and you just want to know where to track them, I have that on my website, astrologyhumandesign.com. If you go to free human design chart is the tab, I believe, the page, it will take you to my human design chart calculator, which has on there the current transits. If you want to look around and go from like day to day, I recommend Human Design app. Human Design app has a way to look at the transits from the past 7 days and the future 7 days. I also, in my Human Design transit class, talk more about what I use to look ahead in the Human Design transits, because there's not really an easy place to use the Human Design transits to predict things. You kind of have to know what degrees makes up what gates, and when the moon or certain planets will be transiting to those degrees of that zodiac sign and what gate that's going to activate. There's not yet an easy way to look too far ahead in the lens of the human design transits. You can use genetic matrix feature to create a foundational transit chart and put in different dates in there, but it's not very functional. It's not very easy to do that. You have to go in and change the date every time. Like, you can look ahead at February 21st, 2023, but you can't really like move that around too much without like editing it and changing the date again. So there's not yet, I'll say, an easy way to look too far ahead in the human design transits, but those are three places really that I recommend that you can do that for yourself, especially if you want to look at certain dates. That can be really, really helpful. And then, like I said, my class is a great resource to just learn more. That is step number 1 to increasing productivity and success in your business, is working with the timing of the transits. And knowing, okay, well, the sun's going to be in my 10th house right now, which is career, right? So I'm going to have a major focus on my career right now. This is a good time to launch things. This is a good time to put things out there. This is a good time to go live on social media. This is a good time to put myself into the world to build a public reputation in my career, in what I'm doing. Those two things are step number 1, is looking at timing through the lens of astrology and through the lens of human design, because again, that's going to tell you when it is correct and when it is in alignment for you to do certain things in your business. If you are kind of new to astrology and don't have a general understanding of all the houses and like what all that means, I break it down really simply in my membership. I have classes on this, and I also, in my ebook, it's like a go-to guide for this kind of stuff and what it all means and how to use it to your advantage. Some important houses to know when planets are transiting are the 2nd house, your house of money, the 5th house, the house of creativity, your passions, the 6th house, the house of work, like the actual like physical work that you do in your career. The 7th house is like business partnerships, when people could come in that are going to support you. And the 10th house, like I've already mentioned, is your career and your public reputation. The 11th house is also kind of important because that's how you show up on social media. That is all things to do with social media, really, and like your outward community, as well as your long-term visions, goals, and aspirations that you have in your career. You also want to look at, and I talk about this in my classes on astrology and the Astro HD membership, that you also want to look at where the ruling planets, okay, so what sign rules that houses, right? And what sign rules those houses, and what is going to be transiting there and when. Number 2, what planets do you have there? Because that's going to add a factor. Number 3, what planet rules that sign, and where is that planet in your chart? Because that's going to tie those 2 houses together. So as an example, my 2nd house of money is ruled by Scorpio. I have Jupiter there, I have Pluto there, I have the North Node there. I need to be focused on my expansion through learning and transformation, Jupiter, Pluto, and focus towards things that make me uncomfortable, North Node, that are a part of my destiny. Scorpio, transformation, right? The occult, what I'm doing now, teaching you all astrology and human design. And the ruling planet of that house, Mars, is in my 7th house of relationships. So if I'm not careful about who I have around me in my life, it can really throw a wrench in my finances, the 2nd house of money, and my destiny, which is very deeply tied into my career. So that's an example from my life. That's the astrology, okay? Astrology is more general. It is more timing, your areas of life. I like to say that astrology is the roadmap of your life, and human design is like your Google Maps. It's like going to tell you how to get to where you want to go, right? And that's what human design does so well is it gives you a literal strategy and authority for how to move through life and how to make decisions that are in alignment for you, that are going to lead you to your signature feeling, whether it be peace or satisfaction or success or surprise. Like, your strategy and authority is going to lead you there no matter what, and it's going to bring your purpose to you. You will always be in alignment with your purpose and with your success as long as you're living your strategy and authority and making decisions from that place. That is the most important thing when it comes to human design, is knowing how to live your strategy and authority and doing it. Doing it, being embodied in it as much as you possibly can. I don't do things as a sacral manifesting generator. I don't do something if it doesn't excite me. If I don't get like excited about it, like, I don't do it, because it's not going to lead me to what's meant for me. It's not going to lead me to success. It's not going to lead me to satisfaction. It's probably going to lead me to frustration and anger. And I don't should myself and make myself do things I don't want to do when I don't feel like it in my body. So that is so crucial and important to follow, and make sure you know how that works for yourself so you can really utilize it. Like I've already mentioned, it's really important to look at, if you're a split definition in human design, what certain transits are going to bridge your splits and when, so that you can utilize those times to be more productive and have more access to the full extent of your energy in your chart. Another thing you want to look at in human design transits is if you don't have a defined sacral normally, what are some transits that are going to bring definition to your sacral center? Another thing to look for in human design, what is your environment? Because being in the right environment, again, I have a class on this in the Astrology membership. What is your ideal environment? Because being in your environment is going to not only support your destiny and like your life story to unfold, but it's also going to connect with you to the right people and the right opportunities that are going to support you in your destiny unfolding and being in its highest alignment. So environment is so crucial and so important. As an example, I'm caves. So what I'm doing right now, being in my room with only having one door here and being observed, which is my environment style through you guys on the internet, this is totally correct for me in my environment. And it supports the channel, the gates of my nodes, which is the 2034 channel, which is the manifesting generator channel. So it's literally like, I have the energy right now to share with you guys. I have the energy to create and do what I love because I'm in my ideal environment. If you're markets, you need to go out into the world, if you're external markets, and put yourself out there, post flyers, network with people, talk to people at coffee shops. Like, if you can, like, go and set up at a literal market or like a marketplace or like a crystal store, or like go set up somewhere that's going to put you where people are. If you're internal markets, it's about bringing people to you, showing up online on social media, that kind of thing. Again, I go more into each environment in the Astro HD membership class on environment. That's another really important aspect of aligning with your business success. I covered the basics of how to use your astrology and human design chart in your business to align with your success, but you can also do this for your business. You can create an astrology chart for your business and a human design chart for your business, and use these things with that as well, especially if you're not the sole person in your business, or the sole owner of your business, or what have you. For me, like, I am my business, so I look at both charts. Whenever I revisit my business chart, it like brings so much more insight to me. So you can also literally create charts for your actual business. What I go off of, so you're probably asking the question, oh, what date do I go off of? What time do I go off of? What place? What I went off of is when my business felt real. And that day and time for me was when I launched my website. That was when I like spent all night almost creating my website and launched it and sent a text to my friend that was like, my website's live, like check it out. I went off of that day, that time, and where I was when that happened, which was Estes Park, Colorado. So that's what I use for my business chart. You can also use when you form the LLC, which a lot of us will have. I mean, if not all of us who have formed LLCs will have the email, will have the documentation from like what day and what time that was filed, you know, so you can go off those things. If it's like a physical business that you own, you can go off the first day that you opened it, the first day that you were bringing in like the customers or clients. Just depends on what type of business you have and really what feels like the thing that was like, okay, I birthed this, because it's all about, right? The chart is like when that thing or that person was literally birthed and brought into the world. Those are just some ideas of how you can find out the day and the time, the birth information, I'll say, of your business to create a chart for your actual business, and that will give you more insight too. Like, as an example for me, my business is a 4/6 manifesting generator, 4/6 profile. So I know that my business success is only as strong as my network and my community. My business's environment is shores. So it's helpful for me to have somewhere, like do my business somewhere where I'm looking out at a view, something like that, or near water, you know, because that's shores. Or like it benefits my business as well to travel, to see new perspectives, to go to different places, that kind of thing. If you're new to this stuff, that might be too much information, but just take it one step at a time. Follow your strategy and authority. I mean, really your authority, follow your authority. Your authority is what's leading you. Your strategy is just kind of like how you approach things, how you approach life. But your authority is really like your inner guidance system and your decision-making process. And that's going to tell you when and what to say yes to and to do versus what to hold off on. Because again, too, human design and using your authority and your strategy is all about timing. It's telling you, yes, this is correct for you right now. This is in alignment for you right now. And if it's not, it might be best for you to wait until that is telling you yes, because that's going to be the correct timing. That's going to be when it's in alignment. So I hope you found this video helpful. Share it with your entrepreneur and your business owner friends. Comment down below and let me know how this helped you. If you have any questions, what you have done in your business to help with your success and your productivity, let me know. I love to hear from you all. Make sure you're subscribed again. Like this video if you found it helpful, helps out the algorithm for me and for you. And yeah, I'm sending you so much love until I see you in the next video. Bye.